I really don't care what happens to him at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
Teyana Taylor's shocking pregnancy reveal and Iman's collapse. Stop scrolling for a second, because what happened that night might be one of the most unbelievable moments in celebrity drama this year. Imagine it, a packed event hall buzzing with energy. The lights flash, the music thunders, and the crowd's excitement fills the air. Cameras are out, fans are screaming, and everyone's waiting for the next big entrance. Then suddenly the atmosphere shifts. The room quiets just enough to notice someone walking in, Teyana Taylor. She steps into the spotlight wearing a sleek, form-fitting dress that seems to command attention. The crowd instantly reacts, not just because of her style or grace, but because of what's visible beneath the fabric. A gentle but undeniable curve. A baby bump. Within seconds, gasps echo through the hall. People exchange shocked glances. Phones come out faster than anyone can blink. And before anyone can fully process what's happening, one man collapses to the floor. Teyana's ex, former NBA star Iman Shumpert. Yes, you read that right. Iman Shumpert, the man who once shared a life, home, and family with Teyana, fell to the ground right there in front of everyone. Witnesses say it wasn't just a stumble. It was a complete collapse. Paramedics were called immediately. An ambulance arrived within minutes. And what should have been a private moment of surprise turned into a public heartbreak that left everyone speechless. But how did things get to this point? Why did the sight of Teyana's pregnancy hit Iman so hard that he couldn't even stand? To understand that, we need to rewind a bit. The tension between the two had been brewing for months. Their breakup wasn't clean. Their co-parenting situation had been tense. And every few weeks, new rumors surfaced about arguments, about other people in their lives, about feelings that never fully healed. Even with all that, a part of the public still hoped they'd find their way back to each other someday. Maybe time would fix what fame and mistakes had broken. But when Teyana walked in that night, glowing, confident, and clearly expecting, all those lingering hopes disappeared in an instant. The air in that room changed completely. People didn't know whether to clap or cry. Some did cheer for her, celebrating what they assumed was a fresh start. Others just stared, mouths open, unable to believe what they were seeing. And Iman, he was right there. Those who were close enough said he had been acting strange all night, unusually quiet and distant, like he knew something big was about to happen. His expression stayed tight, his movements stiff. Then, when his eyes locked on her, everything inside him seemed to shut down. His face went pale, his breathing quickened, and before anyone could react, his knees gave out. Security rushed forward as panic filled the hall. People shouted for help, flashes from phones blinded the air, and chaos took over. Paramedics appeared, checking his pulse and trying to steady him. Cameras caught everything, his body on the ground. Teyana standing frozen only a few feet away, her hand instinctively covering her stomach as the noise around her grew louder and louder. Within minutes, Iman was lifted onto a stretcher and wheeled out through flashing lights, leaving behind a room full of people who didn't know what to think. The man who once prided himself on staying composed, who was always seen as strong and steady, had been carried out in front of the world, completely undone. As the ambulance doors closed, every eye turned back to Teyana. Her face told more than any press statement ever could. You could see the mix of emotions battling inside her: shock, guilt, confusion, and an almost protective instinct as she held her stomach. She didn't say a word. She didn't confirm or deny anything. She just stood there, silent, while the world around her went wild. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Clips from the event flooded TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Hashtags like #TeyanaBump, #ManCollapse, and #ambulance called shot to the top of trending lists. Memes started popping up almost instantly. Some cruel, some sympathetic, but all feeding a fire that was spreading faster than anyone could control. People started asking questions. Was this a planned reveal? Did Teyana know Iman would be there? Was this meant to make a statement? Or was it just an unfortunate coincidence that spiraled into chaos? But the biggest question, the one everyone wanted answered, was simple. Who is the father? because for Iman to collapse the way he did, it wasn't just surprise. It was deeper, heartbreak, disbelief, and maybe even the realization that the woman he once called his wife had finally moved on. The pain of being replaced, publicly, suddenly, and irreversibly, might have been too much for him to take. Speculation spread like wildfire. Some pointed to Aaron Pierre, the man who had been quietly linked to Teyana in recent months. Others whispered about secret relationships or private flings no one knew about. Nobody could confirm anything, but that uncertainty only made people talk more. Meanwhile, Teyana said nothing. No interviews, no posts, not even a hint on social media. Her silence became louder than any statement she could have made. As for Iman, updates from the hospital began to trickle out hours later. Sources close to him insisted he was stable, saying the collapse was due to stress and exhaustion. But not everyone believed that. Many thought it was something deeper, emotional pain manifesting physically. After all, how else do you explain a man fainting at the sight of his ex revealing she's pregnant? Some fans swore that Iman had no idea she was expecting. Others believed he knew but wasn't prepared to see her make it public. And then came the most painful theory of all. That he already knew the baby wasn't his, and that realization broke him in a way nothing else could. Whatever the truth may be, that night changed everything. A single moment turned into a viral storm of heartbreak, confusion, and raw emotion. And as the world debated and speculated, two lives, once so connected, were suddenly standing on opposite sides of a story that no one would ever forget. After the chaos of that unforgettable night, things didn't calm down for Teyana Taylor. If anything, they became even heavier. People close to her say that behind the cameras and the headlines, she was deeply emotional. It wasn't just the shock of everything that happened. It was the weight of realizing that a private part of her life had exploded into public view. Insiders described her as torn apart, happy about the new life growing inside her, but also heartbroken over what happened to Iman. They say she had planned to share her pregnancy soon, but never imagined it would unfold in such a dramatic, painful way. Those who know her best painted a picture of a woman caught between joy and guilt. She was glowing one moment, shaken the next, constantly holding her belly as if trying to shield her baby from the noise outside. To the public, it looked like another celebrity scandal. But to her, it was something much deeper, a moment of real life spinning completely out of control. The reaction online was instant and brutal. Every blog, gossip page, and entertainment show picked it apart from every possible angle. Fans replayed the footage over and over, zooming in, slowing it down, analyzing expressions. Some claimed they saw guilt in her eyes. Others said they saw pain. Every detail became a headline, and within hours, social media turned it into a circus. Debates filled the comment sections. Was this the final ending for Teyana and Iman? Or could something this raw and shocking force them to finally confront the truth between them? Days later, Iman broke his silence. Not with a long statement, but with a single cryptic post. A black screen with white letters that read, "Not everything needs to be for the world." There were no names, no explanations, but everyone knew what it meant. It was his way of saying he was hurt, blindsided, and overwhelmed. That collapse on the floor wasn't just his body giving out. It was his heart breaking in front of millions. The man once known for his confidence and cool composure had been stripped down to something painfully human. And that's what makes this story so tragic. It's not just celebrity gossip. It's heartbreak, pride, and pain playing out for the entire world to see. Behind the perfect photos and the award show smiles are two people who once loved each other deeply, now standing on opposite sides of something they can't undo. This isn't just another breakup. It's the slow public unraveling of a love that used to feel unshakable. For years, Teyana and Iman looked like the dream couple, stylish, talented, and full of energy. Fans rooted for them because they seemed real, not fake or forced like so many Hollywood pairs. But now, it's like watching that dream crumble in real time. Teyana, once the definition of strength and grace, is trying to hold herself together while carrying a child and facing an audience that won't stop judging her. Every step she takes is analyzed. Every silence is interpreted. But maybe her silence isn't weakness. Maybe it's her only form of peace left. In a world that feeds on chaos, staying quiet might be her way of protecting her baby, her sanity, and what's left of her heart. For Iman, the situation feels equally heavy. Once the charming athlete everyone admired, he now sits quietly in the middle of a storm he never saw coming. There's a sadness to his silence, a kind of stillness that feels like acceptance. Maybe he's realizing that forever isn't guaranteed, that love can disappear in one argument, one mistake, one moment when ego wins over understanding. Watching someone you thought was your forever move on so publicly, especially when the world is watching, is a kind of pain words can't describe. And in the middle of it all are their children. Innocent, confused, and probably more aware of what's happening than anyone wants to admit. They're the ones seeing their parents' faces splashed across blogs and hearing whispers they don't fully understand. No child should have to learn about love by watching it fall apart in the headlines or on TikTok. But that's the world they're growing up in. A world where private heartbreak becomes entertainment. This situation has grown far beyond a pregnancy reveal or a viral video. It's about two people trying to find themselves after losing what once made them whole. It's about the death of a dream. A love story that once gave fans hope now turning into a warning about how fast things can fall apart when pride, pain, and pressure collide. Because the truth is, we all believed in them. We believed in their story. And watching it unravel feels like losing something bigger than just a relationship. Teyana's journey now is about survival. She's not only preparing to bring new life into the world, she's also learning to rebuild hers. She's fighting for her peace, her right to love again, her right to heal without being punished for the past. And every time she chooses silence over chaos, it's not because she's defeated. It's because she's protecting something precious. Her child, her heart, and whatever hope she still has left for her future. Iman's path will be harder in different ways. Rebuilding won't come from posting cryptic quotes or showing up in interviews. It'll come from self-reflection, therapy, humility, and growth, the kind of growth that hurts but heals. Because no matter what people say, it's clear he loved her deeply. And maybe that's what makes it all so painful to watch. Two people who once had it all, now forced to face a version of life they never imagined. As for the rest of us, the fans, the followers, the ones glued to our screens, all we can really do is wait and watch. The internet can speculate all it wants, but the truth? That stays locked between Teyana and Iman. The baby bump may be public, the collapse may be viral, but the real story, the heartbreak, the forgiveness, the memories that still haunt them, that's something only they'll ever truly understand.